People began to whisper that the land had rejected its ruler. In their desperation, they turned to the old ways. Beneath ancient trees and at forgotten shrines, they gathered. Long before memory could hold the names of kings, in a land wrapped in mist and sacred rivers, there lived a queen whose sorrow was deeper than the ocean itself. Queen Amara was beloved by her people, gentle in speech, wise in judgment, and radiant in presence. Yet her crown bore a silent wound. She could not bear a child. In a kingdom where lineage was law and heirs were the breath of continuity, her barrenness became a whisper, then a murmur, and finally a cruel song sung openly in the streets. The sharpest thorn in her heart was not the people, but the king's mother. Queen Mother Zarine was a woman carved from ambition and shadow. She had not birthed the king, yet she ruled his mind like a puppeteer cloaked in affection. Behind closed doors, her words dripped poison. A queen who cannot give a king a son is no queen at all, she would say, her voice cold as stone. You are a decorated emptiness. Even King Aziel, who once loved Amara deeply, grew distant under his mother's influence. His eyes, once warm, became clouded with doubt. And so, one night, when the moon hung low and silver like a tear in the sky, Queen Amara wrapped herself in a dark cloak and slipped away from the palace. She walked barefoot to the sacred river, an ancient body of water said to be the dwelling of a divine spirit. The villagers called her the mother beneath the waves. Amara fell to her knees at the river bank. Her tears merged with the flowing water as she cried out, "O great mother of the waters, hear me. I have been mocked, broken, and emptied of hope. If I have ever walked in kindness, if my heart has ever been pure, grant me a child. Let me not be remembered as a barren shadow." The river stilled, the wind hushed, and from the depths the water began to glow. A figure rose, neither fully woman nor fully spirit. Her skin shimmered like moonlight dancing on waves, and her eyes held the depth of forgotten worlds. "Amara," the water goddess spoke, her voice both gentle and powerful, like a tide pulling at the soul. "I have heard your cries long before this night." The queen bowed her head, trembling. "Then bless me," she whispered. But the goddess's expression darkened. "You were destined to remain barren," she said, "not as a punishment, but as protection." Amara looked up, confusion and pain clashing in her eyes. "If you bear a child within the palace," the goddess continued, "both you and the child will be destroyed. There are forces within your kingdom that seek not an heir, but control." The queen's breath caught. "My mother-in-law," she whispered. The goddess nodded. "She plans to replace you. The woman she wishes your husband to marry is her own hidden daughter. Through her, she seeks to rule forever." Amara's heart pounded with both fear and clarity. "Then what must I do?" she asked. The goddess stepped closer, the water rising around her like a living throne. "If you truly desire a child, you must abandon everything." Amara's eyes widened. "You will conceive," the goddess said, "but only if you disappear from the kingdom. I will guide you to a hidden place where no evil eye can find you." "And the king?" Amara whispered, her voice breaking. "He will live," the goddess said. "I will guide you to a hidden place where no evil eye can find you." "And the king?" Amara whispered, her voice breaking. "He will live," the goddess said. "He will remain healthy, but he will marry another, and she too shall never bear a true heir." The queen closed her eyes, a tear slipping down her cheek. "You must wait," the goddess continued. Wait until their deception is complete. They will present a false heir to the kingdom. That will be your sign. And then you will vanish, the goddess said. By then, you will carry the true child. You will raise him in secrecy, and when 20 years have passed, you shall return. The river rippled with quiet power. Your son will not be ordinary. He will be born of water and destiny. He will cleanse the kingdom of its corruption, destroy the evil rooted in the throne, and restore peace. Amara's heart, though heavy, ignited with purpose. And he will not walk alone, the goddess added softly. The waters will always be with him. Time moved like a slow, patient drum. The queen returned to the palace and waited. Soon enough, Queen Mother Zarin's plan unfolded. A new bride was brought in, beautiful, quiet, and eerily obedient. Months passed. Then came the announcement. The kingdom has an heir. But Amara saw the truth in the child's eyes. There was no royal blood there, only deception. That very night, guided by dreams sent by the goddess, Amara disappeared. She was never seen again. In a hidden land beyond maps and memory, she gave birth to a son. She named him Kael. From the moment he could walk, Kael was drawn to water. Rivers bent toward him. Rain seemed to greet him. Lakes mirrored of face as though recognizing him. He would often speak to the water, and sometimes it answered. There was also a girl. She appeared whenever Kael wandered near deep waters, a beautiful, mysterious figure with eyes like the ocean at dawn. 20 years passed. Back in the kingdom, darkness had taken root. The false heir had grown into a cruel and hollow ruler controlled by Queen Mother. The rivers, once full of life and song, shrank into cracked veins across the earth. Fishermen returned home with empty nets, their children staring at them with hollow eyes. Crops failed season after season, and the once fertile lands turned to dust beneath the feet of weary farmers. Hunger became a language everyone understood. Mothers boiled stones in pots just to quiet their children's cries. The markets grew silent, stripped of laughter and trade. Hope itself seemed to dry up with the rivers. People began to whisper that the land had rejected its ruler. In their desperation, they turned to the old ways. Beneath ancient trees and at forgotten shrines, they gathered, kneeling, weeping, lifting trembling hands to the heavens. Send us the promised one, they prayed. For long ago, a spiritual healer had spoken before vanishing into the wilderness. When the waters abandon you, know that truth has been buried. But from the waters shall rise a son, not born of deceit, but of destiny. He will return what was stolen. And so the people waited, clinging to prophecy as their final thread of hope. Beneath ancient trees and at forgotten shrines, they gathered, kneeling, weeping, lifting trembling hands to the heavens. Send us the promised one, they prayed. For long ago, a spiritual healer had spoken before vanishing into the wilderness. When the waters abandon you, know that truth has been buried. But from the waters shall rise a son, not born of deceit, but of destiny. He will return what was stolen. And so the people waited, clinging to prophecy as their final thread of hope. Then one day, a young man walked into the kingdom. At his side, the mysterious girl, and behind them, the sound of water returning. Chaos stood before the throne, his presence shaking the very walls. I am the son of Queen Amara, he declared, his voice carrying the weight of truth, the rightful king. The false ruler laughed, but the rivers outside began to roar. Storm clouds gathered, and the girl beside Kale stepped forward, her form shifting, revealing her true nature, the water goddess. The palace trembled, the truth was unveiled, and in a single unstoppable tide, the evil that had poisoned the kingdom was washed away. Peace returned, the rivers flowed once more, and King Kale ruled not with fear, but with wisdom, kindness, and strength. Beside him stood the girl of the waters, no longer hidden, but eternal. And somewhere, beyond sight but never beyond love, Queen Amara watched her son fulfill the destiny she had sacrificed everything for.